We should be going live any minute now. Shout out to Alice Rozier, FAMU in the building already. Another one of them Rattlers. All right, got it. All right, I'd like to welcome everyone to HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky, your co-host, along with my man, the Rattler himself, Stephen Bishop, Detective Campbell.
Yes, sir.
Coach Cole is going to be here with us like he always is. He's running just somewhat behind, but ain't no telling what he got into. Everybody knows that he moonlights as a basketball official. And so ain't no telling. He may get, you know, Coach, whenever you got to be somewhere, Mr. Campbell, you get them triple overtime games. You get those unfortunate circumstances. So we're going to hold it down while Coach is handling what he needs to handle. And like always, when the cat's away, the mics will play. So we're going to have some fun while we're at it. But in the meantime and in between time, let me ask my man, how you doing, Mr. Campbell?
Man, listen, man, it's a great day. You got one of my favorite coaches, Coach Jackson. Man, I'm gonna have to bring up something. He done went viral over a comment that he made on our show, but he's made on Coach. So I want to ask him about that. He's got that 35 for 35, and he's around there trying to dominate Texas. And then, but you already know, hey, what my folks from FAMU is here for, man. We got number 19, the AD, Miss Angela Suggs, coming on. That's gonna talk about what it means to be an AD and what she's gonna do to move FAMU for the future. So my Rattlers are in the house, and all my other folks are here. So man, wait, man, we're gonna have a good time.
You know, speaking of ADs, man, when the vacancy was at Prairie View was going on, man, I would email AD Golf, and that joker would call me right back. And guess what he'd tell me? We still searching for our coach. He wouldn't give up nothing, man. He wouldn't give up nothing. But he always sounded confident. He always assured me they were moving in the right direction. And he assured me that Prairie View would eventually get the right guy. And with no further ado, I'd like to present you Prairie View's 25th head football coach, none other than Tremaine Jackson.
Now, Coach, wait, Rocky, hold on. Now, I got to clarify something now, Coach. Hold on. Because I'm setting up. Tell him, Coach, what are you actually?
The 35th.
Oh, my bad.
35th head coach.
All right, Coach. My apologies. The 35th head coach. Prairie View's been playing football a long time. I just put it like that.
Long time.
Because FAMU was only up to 20, right?
How many coaches we got?
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand something. Jake Gaither coached longer than Coach Jackson and not myself been alive. So
okay.
that take about 50 years of coaching almost.
Oh, okay.
So when you had them legends like him and Eddie Roberts, you're not going to have too many coaches in certain places like that. But yeah, hey, Coach, I want to make sure, because one of the things, Coach, I'm just going to start it off because, Coach, you know, I'm always about that money. So Coach got that 35 for 35. So, guys, you're going to see the link in the chat because this is our guy. And what I say, I don't want to hear no talking about championships if you ain't going to pay for no championship, because that's how it works. So I'm going to be dropping that 30. That's why I say we dropping that 35 for 35. So like I say, it don't matter if you didn't go Prairie View or not. We all family. Get that man $35. And then if your team beat him, then you can say, look, I gave you money and we still beat you. See, that's how it don't matter. See? Let's go. I'm going to give you 35. And then, you know, when we see you in the SWAC championship in Tallahassee, I'm going to say, Coach, remember I'm going to give you a little bit more than 35. So you remember that, see?
Hey, if we get enough of them 35s or more, we're going to be sitting pretty good when we see each other.
Good deal, Coach. Good deal.
All right, Coach. Couple things before we get into it. You came here just over a month ago, and you shared with us your background and all of that. We don't have to worry about that. We know you coach with Bear Bryant and Nick Saban and Don Shula and all that. No, because we know your background. We know you coach starting in the coaching business with Coach Cole, and you gave us, man, 2 hours of some of the best conversation around coaching and that we could have. So, Coach, you don't want to drag this out. We want to know a couple things for sure, though. We want to know where you at with your coaching staff before we get into recruiting.
Yeah, man, we're done. We're done. We got everybody in fairly quickly. Man, I've been so blessed to have an AD like AD Golf that understands what college football is and Division I athletics, and along with our president and our HR team, man, we were able to hire 24 people in one of the shortest times that get hired. And man, we probably had a larger staff Prairie View A&M has ever had. We got a couple of new positions put in, and that just comes with being new and presenting a vision. And it also shows you that our department, our school is serious about winning. When we felt like we needed some things, we got everybody in, everybody hired, everybody on the road as quick as we could. So we've been all here for about the same amount of time.
Now, Coach, let me ask you this. One of the things that Prairie View has dealt with, I know you weren't here. How does 24 on the staff compare to previous years? I've always heard that the football in particular was kind of undermanned as far as coaching. That wasn't your situation, but can you compare and contrast to what was in place as far as you know and where you are now?
Yeah, there's probably 8 to 10 more people than what we're used to in previous staffs. And let me explain that too. I'm really big on it takes a village to raise these guys, man. And we have a lot of analysts. If you look across the Division I model, analysts can coach on the field now. And so we have a lot of analysts and what used to be known as graduate assistants. We don't really get into the graduate assistant game, or what used to be known as restricted earnings. We don't really play that game either. We call them analysts and defensive assistants. So every position coach has an assistant along with some guys extra on the side of the ball. And then we got football ops and director of recruiting, and we've got some positions like that were new. And so probably 8 to 10 when it's all said and done, additional when we came in the door.
And how does that impact what you guys will ultimately be able to do this coming fall?
Yeah, it gives us more reach within our program, within our players. You know, we got 2 D-line coaches. We should be able to outcoach the staff that only got 1 O-line coach. We got 2 heads is better than 1. And I say that jokingly, but there's some things that we can get done that takes 1 coach a lot of time. We've got 2 coaches at that spot. And so we spread some things out. We're able to dig a little deeper because we have the extra hands and really give our guys the best chance to be successful. Now, I won before with 8 coaches. So it is truly a privilege to be able to have what we have, and we're very blessed and grateful to have it, and thankful to AD Golf and Dr. LeGrand for allowing us to have that.
All right, I turn over to Mr. Campbell, and you can speak recruiting with you, and I'm sure a number of everything. And also, I want to let we got quite a few followers and viewers on. If you have any question for Coach you want me to pass on to him, just type it in the chat. We already got one question that we're going to save for after we talk recruiting, because that's a huge question that we have considering some recent developments. So, Mr. Campbell, if you would, you can go ahead and enter your you will probably have to unmute though if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. I talk a lot, so maybe tell me to be quiet. Because I want to build on that, because as a coach at yourself that worked under other coaches, that got opportunities. So you're saying, hey, I'm able to add additional coach. were you getting young guys that were hungry that you saw, hey, you know what? I see they got the energy. I see they're going to be in the building from, sunrise to sunset. They don't have as much experience, but you can see they knew football. Was that for some of those guys that you were allowing them, hey, I'm going to give you your start because I see the talent, but this is what I expect. So are those type of young men, and maybe can talk to maybe a few of their names and who they are and maybe what they went to school at? Because we want to celebrate the up and coming guys too and stuff like that. If you can kind of just talk about that, because I'm excited about to hear the young guys that's getting opportunity.
Yeah. Mr. Campbell, that's exactly what it is. Not a whole lot of young guys, but we do have some on the ground floor that are really it's for recruiting. Man, those guys will stay on their phone and on Twitter and call people all night long. Where my coordinator might have a family and the kids around his neck when he walk in the house. Man, this dude ain't got nothing to do. This dude he's all ball all the time, and you got to have some of those. We're in a really different situation. We have a young lady on our staff, Davin Olagundi. She was there at Prairie when I got there. She graduated. She was coach working with the O-line last year, kind of in the student assistant role, and she came in when I got there, and she had a real plan. And I think it's unique. Women are starting to become more and more on coaching staffs. I think you need female presence in a football program. And so we were able to, I came from a place where I had a female kicker the last couple of years. And so when I met her, when she got on the board and showed us her football knowledge, because it's just because you're a female, you don't get a pass. You got to be able to do the job. Like male or female, if you can't do the job, you can't work with us. And she got on the board and we put her through it. And she was able to stand on her own 2 feet. She earned an opportunity to be on our staff, and so we wanted to make sure we got people like her, and Hezekiah is another student assistant that was there that we moved up to analyst. But again, it's about recruiting. Okay, it's about being able to find and recruit. If Prairie View A&M can be on the phone with a guy when everybody else ain't, then that gives us a leg up. If we always texting and you getting hit from different angles, at some point you're gonna say, "Man, let me get over here and see these Panthers. They hit me from every which way," and that's what recruiting is. And so we want to make sure we build relationships from the ground floor. Before it gets to me, man, the guys talk to 10 people in our program, and it's because we have those people on the ground floor that find and really get all the information and do a lot of research on guys too. Just because a guy in the portal, that don't mean he can come play for us. Right. That don't mean he had an attitude or something happened at the last place. We got a lot of folks doing a lot of research on that, and we're certainly grateful for it.
Now, Coach, I'm going to ask you one of the questions. Now, I like the philosophy. So when you're doing your recruiting, so do you have a guy that say, hey, I want you to talk to him about academics. I want you to talk about maybe Prairie View's life. I want you to talk about his skill position. To do that, because when you talk to 10, I know they're not saying the same thing over and over again. So it's kind of a building block to get to the end with you when you close the deal and say, hey, they've told you everything about what Prairie View is. Here's what I expect, and this is why you need to come play for me. Is it kind of like that, a building block scenario?
It is, especially with those young coaches we got that went to school at Prairie View A&M. They can tell you the inside out what's going down on a Thursday night, what after homecoming, what's happening. They have experiences that I don't even have. Right. I've never been to homecoming at Prairie View A&M, but boy, I can't wait to see it, because from everything they told me, they got me excited about it. And so we strategically place. All right, I want you to call and talk to my man about homecoming. You call and talk to him about the engineering program, and they're getting hit from every which way. And even by the time it gets to the position coach, we're talking straight ball. It gets to the coordinator, we talking straight. We done eliminated the fluff from recruiting and I got a 45-minute drive home. Let me talk about this kid and get to know him. We know so much about him just from the legwork that our young coaches have done. Sometimes, Mr. Campbell, the deal is closed before it get to me. They just want to make sure I'm cool and I'm who I am on social media. And so those guys have done a really good job of getting it done. Our coordinators have done a really good job of setting that precedence, along with our director of recruiting, on critical factors that need to be touched before it gets to us.
Well, Coach, I love that, because as you know, we talked about that. You guys are the next generation. And there's this next generation that's coming behind you, and you're empowering it. Clearly, it looks like you're empowering your staff, like you said. But by the time they get to me, I already know he's a football player. So that means you're putting a lot of trust into young men who, like you said, have not been position coordinators or position coaches or coordinators, but like I say, learning the game under you. But you're saying, you know what, you trust their job. And that's what I think that's so important, because I think when somebody trusts you, you're going to make sure you don't disappoint them.
Absolutely.
So I just really appreciate that. And I wanted you to talk about that. Now, Coach, I'm going to tie into something. Now, you came on with us, and I have noticed this quote has gone viral. We don't wine and dine guys in recruiting. We give it to you straight up because we don't have time to de-recruit you. Now, Coach, you made that statement at your press conference, but you also made it here. And now I have seen that where people say HBCU coach gives it to them straight. That is the quote. So, Coach, with that philosophy, tell us about your recruiting class, how you got those guys, because you told them, hey, this is what it is. We ain't whining and dining you. And tell us about some of the guys, and also start with the guys that you got out the portal, some of the guys you want to highlight, but also talk about the high school kids that you recruited and things like that, because I want to talk about the high school kids, because I think that's very important, because what I have seen now, I see that it's going to be a lot of possibility of getting high-level high school kids now because of the portal. I literally watched a video, and it's going to come to me, where a guy said, there's no need of recruiting high school players anymore. Cam Newton said this. I'm sorry. It was Cam Newton.
Yeah.
On his 4th and 1. He said, well, there's no need. But for me, as an HBCU person, I'm like, hey, these high school kids can play. So there's an opportunity where, hey, maybe you can go to Prairie instead of going to no-name Texas State, you know what I mean? Or come to FAMU and go to whatever directional Florida school, but you could come to FAMU. So kind of talk to us about that.
You know, with the not whining and dining kids, right? Here's my quote to the staff. Man, let them go to the SEC and the Power 4 to get paid. Bring them to Prairie A&M when they're ready to win, graduate, and be successful everywhere. And so here's what we deal with. And this is a true story. In my office every day, there's 3 to 4 guys that walk in there and they don't talk about football. They talk about how they're the sole breadwinner at 20 years old of their household because they're the man of the house. That their grandmother has dementia. That they were depressed at the last place that they were at. They had lost their love for football. And man, this is what we want to come in. Coach, we're just so happy to be where it's about ball and all the other stuff is out of it. So when you sit in my office and you hear that every day, how can you whine and dine? Because there's kids out there that are hurting, man. It looks good to get paid and wear all the gear and all that stuff. Man, there's kids out there that genuinely want to be coached on and off the field. And that's the ministry of coaching for me. It was never about, let me see if I can just buy you outright and not recruit you. So what we decided to do before we got here, and even when we were at the last place, man, I ain't got time. 1, I don't have that money. I ain't got it. 2, I don't have, if I did have it, we use it strategically, but I ain't got time to sit here and tell you how great you are, because once we sign you, you ain't great no more until you make a play for us. And so then you get there and you think I done switched up. But all I done did was sold you the car. You bought the car and realized it's a regular car. It just drives to get me from point A to point B. So we don't want to have to de-recruit somebody that thought they was getting something, me telling them how great they are, for then they get here and me telling them you ain't, hey, bro, you got a long way to go. So we just decided not to do it. And so when Prairie A&M calls a transfer high school kid, it's hey, man, do you want to be a part of something great? Do you want to be legendary? Because what we're about to do will be legendary. If you ain't interested in that, we ain't interested in you. My grandfather told me something a long time ago. Like those that like you. That's what we're about. How could you not want to come to Houston, the Hill, where there's 65,000 at homecoming? How could you not want to do that? Man, with some of the smartest people, not in the state, but in the world that have been through our school, you got to be out of your mind. I shouldn't have to convince you to do that. And if you follow our track record, now that we're here, it says we're going to win. Not trying to be cocky, not trying to just pump ourselves up, but we win. And so if you follow our track record, you do your research, you know that we not only win, but we graduate our guys at a high level and we help place them on jobs. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of us? And so that was our recruiting pitch. It was almost, Mr. Campbell, like, you crazy as all get out if you don't want to join us. The other people are cool, but they ain't us. They ain't us. The reason why it took us so long to get announced is because we was playing when nobody in our league was playing. So that's why we were late. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? Obviously, our GPS knows how to get us to where everybody wants to go because everybody watched us play. So, man, we just decided that what we offer is good, so good, we call it blue magic. It's blue magic. You ain't got to chop us up. This is blue magic. It is pure and good. And so since we know we blue magic, we either you want this blue magic or you want that 3, 4, 5%. But this right here is blue magic.
Wait a minute, Frank. Hold on, Frank. Frank.
That's how we go about
it. Wait a minute. Don't we do it like that, Coach?
That is exactly how we
Coach went Frank Lucas on.
Listen, man.
It's a mentality about what we offer. Man, Prairie View A&M, we offer. Man, this is magic. So that's how we go about it because we know we have a really good product. We don't shy away from telling kids either you want it or you don't. You either gonna go with us or you're gonna get beat by us. You tell me. Either one's fine with me because there's so many kids.
Hey, Coach, and you ain't gonna let
sounds cocky, but that's the mentality.
Coach, and you ain't gonna let them players step on your stuff, is you?
Not at all. Not at all.
Coach, now wait a minute, Coach. I think you know when then y'all colors purple though, Coach. Is y'all color purple?
It is.
But you might have to call purple magic, Coach. You might have to get
everybody knows. But well, I didn't want to mess with what Frank said.
No. The quote was legendary. The quote was legendary. So, Coach, let's talk about. I see you've got some guys. So let's talk about some of your commits. And I want and again, I apologize. I want to make sure this is correct because I thought it was going to be listed, but I saw you sign a kid, Albert Simons, Zaylen Williams, Wayne Randall, Aiden Brown, Javar Thomas, Donovan Jones, Richard Gregg, Keyshawn. Is that correct on some of the kids I'm naming that I just named there?
Travar Randall, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, those some of those kids are correct.
Yeah, talk to you about. So, bottom line is talk to your recruits because that's what a lot of people tell us about the guys that you got out of the portal that you're excited about, and then talk to you about a high school kids you got.
Yeah, Tayshawn Wilson is a kid we got out of the portal from Baylor. He's a local kid. Probably grew up 30 minutes from Prairie View. Went to Side Springs. He was one of the first kids we got on campus when the period opened up. Man, he was at Baylor. He's got a baby girl back home, and he was coming home every weekend anyway. And, man, got a really good mother and grandma that he wanted to be close to.
And can ball.
Yeah, and so here was the quote. He said, man, Coach, I didn't know Prairie View A&M had all this. I said, man, this dude is from 30 minutes down the road, and he's never been on campus at Prairie View A&M, which is the story of so many. And so we got to right that wrong. Regardless of how it didn't happen, we got to make sure guys like him are always on our campus. So we look for big things for him at corner. Jacoby Banks is another Houston product. Went to U of H out of high school from Fort Bend Marshall. Then he went to Memphis. He was just tired of the hoopah. All that NIL stuff. Man, this dude wanted to play. This dude wanted to play, and he wanted to play in front of his family. Well, it's only one school that offers that. And that's what I'm going to say. It's only one school that offered him the opportunity to play a great brand of football in front of his family, and it was Prairie View A&M. So he came back really excited about him, man. And just those are two guys that really stood out to us because they had the stars. You know what I mean? They had been to the places that people talk about. But there's several other guys. I think we signed 19 transfers at mid-year, and we ain't done. We ain't done. We just it's kind of like walking in the kitchen and just prepping the kitchen for the food, right? We just prepped the kitchen a little bit. We about to start cooking here in a minute.
Now, what about some of your kids from high school that you saw, and what was your philosophy when you recruited some of the high school kids?
Yeah, so Reggie Wilson, man, big 6'8" kid from Dallas. We wanted to get back in that Dallas area and really attack the line play. We needed some young linemen in the program. And so we were able to jump in on him and really, he's 6'8", man. The dude he's 6'8". He 360. His mama was telling me how many eggs she was buying a week to get him fed along with his sisters. Big and ain't even shaved yet. Ain't got one piece of hair on his face. Just a big old baby. And we felt like we could get his weight down a little bit, get him developed. But when you cut the tape on, man, he was just rolling over high school kids. Zylan out of Bay City, man, we were able to get him. He was committed to Temple at one point. He's a receiver. We were able to keep him home when the coaching change happened. They went in a different direction. He had some other opportunities, but we was able to get him over. Now he needs to borrow some of Reggie's weight and put some weight on him. Just a natural, good running football player, man, that we look to make plays for us down in the future. And just people talk about how many transfers we're open about taking. We do develop guys. We do develop guys from the ground up, and he would be one of our ground up guys. And then we signed some other linemen that we're really excited about. And the jury's out on what they're going to be, whether they're going to be able to help us early or not. But they'll be able to get in the program, get going this summer, and we're really excited about
it. Hey, Coach, let me ask you something, Coach. I've had some acquaintances, even friends in coaching at the Power 5 and the G5 level. And one thing right after football season, their next favorite season was track season, right? Because there they could find out if what they were really looking for on film was for real or was it make-believe. Are you a guy that trusts track season to kind of validate what you've seen on film?
I trust track season to tell me if a guy runs like I think he runs, right? But I trust football to tell me if a man is ready to hit another man in the face. You know what I mean? Like I don't too much. I ain't really all in on the guy that's running away from getting hit, right? I want guys that can run. And I
run to the contact.
Yeah, because your high school coach can tell me you 10-4. But when you go get that verified time, then I know you 10-4. But I need to see you in person hit somebody in the face. And so recruiting in the spring is so important for us so we can get out and get to these high school practices. The way you get good football players is by watching guys play football. Cam Ward would have never been seen had somebody didn't go to his high school practice and see him running the wing tee, but also saw him throw the ball. And so there's still no substitute for guys throwing the football and watching you practice football. And so we definitely put a lot of stock, way more stock in that than track. But track verifies what your high school coach told me. I was raised by my grandma, Rock. My grandma was a Reagan person. She said, trust but verify. And so I trust what they tell me, but I'm going to verify it every time that I can.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just know here in Texas, a lot of guys, a lot of good, really good athletes end up on that track running this time of year. And it's a great time for a kid who really has it to really put that on display. But you bring up a real good point, Coach. I've never heard it put like that. You don't want a guy running 10-4 away from the ball and running 11-4 to the ball.
Yeah, we got to get up in it now. It is what it is. I think people mistake what football is, man. Football is a violent game played by violent people violently. You got to be a little different to do what it is that we do. And so all these guys running 4-2, I want you running 4-2 into another grown man. And then you 4-2 to me. Or to the box when a grown man is trying to take you down. That's what 4-2 is. And so, man, I'm looking for that. But I do think on the track thing, to watch a guy compete, there's no substitute. A guy that is just, we call them gym rats back in the day, right? He play everything. He want to be on the basketball team. He want to be on the track team. He running. Every time he walk up there, he trying to fight and compete. I was a 275-pound D lineman as the third leg on the 4x1 team at Wall Trip. Like, so I know, but my track coach was the football coach, and I was going to get out there and do something, but I wanted to compete. I was trying to prove that I ain't belong in a big man relay. I'm like, nah, I'm in the regular man relay.
Absolutely.
And so guys that are wired like that, I love them because that means they never say die. They always going to make sure that they compete at a high level. And you can't coach that.
Absolutely. As we speak about coaching, the man of the hour jumps right in up on us. And
there you go.
And we having a good time, Coach.
Hey, I know.
Hey, like you taught him something well, Coach.
Hey, look, I don't look like Zelensky, do I?
No.
That guy right there.
Yeah. Oh man.
You taught me, Coach.
No, Coach, I wouldn't down the trouble.
Man, I appreciate you giving us your
Ain't
time.
no problem.
They're pulling you right and left. Every time I hear you somewhere in the city speaking.
Yeah, Coach.
I got some of the folks saying, man, look, I might not like Prairie, but I like them now.
You ain't taking over Houston, are you, Coach?
Coach, hey, look.
Definitely.
You know there's already a D1, there's a few D1 schools already there, Coach.
It's only Prairie View A&M. And you can tell them I said it.
Coach. One guy told me, one of my buddies told me, he said, man, I'm a TSU Tiger, man, but damn, I'm gonna have to buy me some season tickets at Prairie View. I said, boy, you crazy.
It's been a fun time, no doubt.
Coach, you got them switching t-shirts, man. What you doing?
That's it.
Yeah.
As long as they get at 35 or more, they wear whatever t-shirt they want.
So recruit's been good, huh?
Yeah, Coach, it's been really good. And, we about to kick it. We about to kick it back off. Some guys are jumping in the portal right now that are grad transfers, and some guys, that window opens on April 16th. When the window opens, we're going in all windows that open.
Yeah.
We're going to jump off in them and see what's in there for us. And now we don't have to be so taking everybody. We can kind of be selective. So we're really excited about evaluating our roster in spring ball and seeing what we need for the time when this window opens up.
Now I can imagine what kind of program you running over there, and those kids it's a new beginning for them. Some of them have left in the middle of the night. I know you're losing a couple.
We lost a couple early. Mm-hmm. We lost a couple early, and as of late, Coach, I'll be honest with you. This group has been more willing than the previous places that I've been coming in. This group has some older guys that they want to right some wrongs, and they kind of were just searching on how to get that done. Yeah. And so they really bought into it. We team meet once a week just to kind of make sure academics and things are on pace. But I've been really proud of the group for buying into something blindly. They didn't know us. They just knew that where we were coming from and what we had done, but they showed us that they wanted to be better. And so we talk to our staff all the time about, man, these dudes want to be better. I don't know how talented they are because I ain't seen nobody get hit.
Yeah.
But they are willing. And that's sometimes, like I know, Coach, that's half the battle. Guys just not fighting against the system, going with the program and making it a part of their everyday life.
Yeah, I remember when I got to Southern University under Pete Richardson, and they had almost like 22 seniors, man. And I mean, we came in there with a whole new how to do things. Discipline is number one. Mm-hmm. You know the routine. And they actually bought into it, and we actually went 11-1 and won a national championship. And as some of you guys know, watching HBCU, the great Sean Wallace, who just passed away, was on that football team, man. And I tell you what, man, those kids bought into it. We identified it. We kept most of them, and man, we jumped off. I think 8-0 till we lost to Nickel State, and then we going on to beat South Carolina State in the bowl game that July. So I know what you said. I know what you were saying, man. Because sometimes you don't want to get rid of them. You rather keep them, but sometimes you got to do what you need to do.
Absolutely. It's been good though.
Yeah,
I'm excited about this group.
Yeah, and let me apologize to you, man. I'm a school teacher, so we had student parent night, And I'm the only PE teacher probably in America that flunk kids. So I had a lot of parents talk about, man, how you flunking my child? You know.
Yeah.
So, but it all ended up great, man.
Ain't no problem.
So
ain't no problem.
Apologize to the bishop and coach. You know, I try to get on here and be on the time because we take what we do serious.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all having.
Yeah.
Well,
Coach.
No, go ahead, Rocky. No, go ahead.
No, Coach. Another thing I wanted to say, Coach, I was glad that you mentioned that Davin is back on the staff because one of the things when they let Bubba go, I believe I have acquaintance with Davin. She was my daughter's roommate for a couple years, and I know she loves football. And she had an opportunity working with Coach. Bubba, working with Bubba to coach, and she enjoyed it, and she really loves it, Coach.
Yeah.
And so she thought that ship may have sailed when he was let go. And I'm glad to know that she was able to establish herself as a bona fide football person, and because she loves it, man, she absolutely does it, and she's into it. And you should see her in there signaling the plays and. Yeah, man. It was a joy to watch her grow as a coach and a football person.
I'll tell you this too, Rock, man. Like, I don't really care about the stories, right? Like, I care about the work getting done. And so she interviewed. She had the interview no different than the rest of the guys had the interview. And so I when I had a female kicker, we put in a live situation and we rushed her. And if she made the kick, we were going to let her on the team, right? Like, that's what happened because you can get hit out here in these streets in football. Well, with Davin, it's already tough enough in our profession to look like us. When you add the female to it, it's going to be tougher. There's nobody that looks like Davin doing what it is that we do right now. And so I needed to make sure she was serious about it. So when she went out and represented us, that our brand didn't take a hit because she looks different. So she's going to get tried differently, right? And she really passed the test. She can draw with the best of them. She can explain the sale concept with the best of them. We moved her to assistant receiver coach. She can explain the air raid concepts with the best of them. So she's earned her way on the staff. And so I want people to know when they see her, this ain't no hand-me-down. This ain't no, let's get some hype and say we got a young lady on our staff. This is a young lady that wants to coach football, and we needed to do, as long as she passed the test, we wanted to give her an opportunity to do that. But I did tell her, Rock, you normally get fired in this situation. This is normally when there's a decision to be fired happens. And so just giving her all aspects of the business, but we're really glad to have her.
Like I say, that's absolutely awesome, Coach. Because she's somebody that I think is a rising star in the business, and her passion for the game is very unique. Not only as a, you can say as a female, but as a person in general. She's willing to do it all, all of the football stuff. So,
right,
go ahead, Coach.
Coach, I want to ask you, there's some questions in the chat. And so it's two things. I'm going to ask you this question, but then there's some film I need you to break down for me, okay?
All right.
So I'm going to start with so a lot of the talk about walk-on. So what is your philosophy? Do you have a walk-on program in Prairie View? What's the opportunity for kids to come on, like you said, that are in school, that are going to be coming in the fall? Talk about your walk-on program and what you're going to look for that.
Yeah, so when I got to Prairie View, there was 18 walk-ons already on the team, which is a high number than what I'm used to dealing with at some places, right? So what we decided to do is we had enough depth in areas, especially on the O&D line, to where we didn't add any walk-ons this spring, but we will add them in the summer and moving forward. But here's what a walk-on's got to do. They got a lot of eligibility stuff. They've been unmonitored for so long until there's a lot of red tape that they got to go through from a compliance standpoint. So that process is not as easy as getting a physical and coming onto the team. And so we got to make sure we're very diligent in that process. We felt like we needed more time. And this summer, gives us the time to make that process smoother, as well as just changing some things that to get our program up to date from a walk-on standpoint, and not knowing what's going to happen with this house settlement and where we're going to be, right? So with all of that stuff looming, we decided to wait till the summer. But here's the expectation for a walk-on. Add value to our football team. Don't be the walk-on that's sassy and missing class and got an attitude when you miss class and we check you on. We don't treat you like a walk-on, so we don't expect you to do things differently because you're a walk-on. If you're a member of the program, you're a member of the program, and you need to carry yourself accordingly. And we've had to have that conversation because walk-ons can eat now. Nobody knows if you're a walk. You used to know if a guy was a walk-on because when the meal came, walk-ons couldn't eat. Well, now they can eat. So nobody knows who's a walk-on unless you sitting in the locker room talking about you a walk-on. And we don't treat you any differently, right? Now, when the refund checks come, hey, don't go over there. It ain't one for you. Right. Don't go over there and get that. But other than that, you're a member of the program, and so we expect you to do your very best, add value. Man, I've been very proud in my head coaching career. Every year I've been a head coach, I put walk-ons on scholarship at the different places I've been. And so we expect to be able to do the same thing here.
Okay. Now, Coach, I know we talked about this, and I know film study for you is very important. Mm-hmm. So I got some film that I need you to evaluate that a lot of people might not have seen, but you're going to be able to evaluate this. I'm going to pull this up, and we're going to play it, and then I'm going to need you to break this film down for me, okay?
All right, come on.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I got it.
Damn, Bishop, you don't got damn technical around here, ain't you? You should let this guy with that film.
Hold on, wait a minute. Is it okay? There we go.
Oh.
Okay. Hold on. Let me reboot this thing because we got to get this one started. Okay, here we go.
Bishop 21st.
There is a place I want to go. The name of the place ringing in my ear. Atlanta. Atlanta is the land of the purple and gold. Oh, the land of the purple and gold. Better get there.
Okay, now, Coach. I need to listen. You are an astute film study. I need a breakdown of this film and tell me your thought process. We also know that you are part of a prestigious fraternity that has something to do with the cadence. And how did you get caught? And this thing is going viral where people have seen it. And then I'm going to ask you a follow-up. So give us your breakdown on this.
It's real simple, Mr. Campbell. That was about 5:45 in the morning. What I felt like we was about to put them young brothers through, I felt like they needed something to touch their soul and to make them realize what we were doing, what we were about to do for. Along with mixing it up, man, just having some fun with our guys. Man, we talk about going to Atlanta a lot. Like, and people think I'm crazy. They like, man, and I just don't believe. You hear them say win and clapping in the background. I just don't believe if you're not talking about winning, then why are you surprised when you lose? And so, man, we talk about winning. That's it for us. And it carries over everywhere, right? And so I wanted to give them a little motivation, let them know that Atlanta is the land of the purple and gold. And it will be henceforth and forevermore. And so that's just our program and our mentality. A lot of people, I read comments because I keep receipts. And so I think I heard it said like this: I got time. I got 24 coaches. I got time, right? And so I read comments, and some people think that we're just out here talking. Man, it's a new day on this hill. It's a new season. We are here. I don't know what you thought was going to happen, but we're headed. Now, the minute we don't go for some reason, see that? You know how we do each other, right?
Absolutely.
But at some point, we're going to hold this trophy up in Atlanta, and then we're going to play the song. And so I wanted our guys to know that, man, I really believe that. Our program believes that. But what we were about to put you through, it was going to seem like old Coach Jack didn't love you. But I do. And we sung a little song before. But it's been fun to watch.
Now, Coach, here's the thing. Now, see, now you done call a problem. Now we're going to be expecting all the other coaches to sing like you. And see, now you use this as an illegal recruiting tactic. I don't think that's in the rule book, Coach, that you're able to do that and allow that. Because I think what is so great, what I loved about it, because there's a new day. And if I'm a parent, and again, as they say, Google me, and I see that, and I see my coach at 5:45 in the morning, just giving his spirit and a fun, like you say, hey, we about to let these boys know. But it was entertaining and it was things that you could share. It showed a little bit of your personality. So I think that was amazing. I think the Prairie View social media that was able to capture that during that time, being up at 5:45 in the morning, which was impressive, a thing like that. But Coach, so did you get a lot of feedback from a lot of people that saw that?
I did. I did. It's helped us in recruiting. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's helped us in recruiting. And we don't do it for that, but I do think it's fun we asking people to support us, right? But if you don't show people what they supporting, they'll lose interest. And so we try to give you an inside glimpse of what we're doing, but we don't let it interfere with the work we're getting done. So we're respectful to the process of the way we work, but we also, there's times that we need to show people exactly what they're investing into. Here's a side note about our social media team. 13 students, 13 talented students at Prairie View A&M. And when you talk about what we have to offer, man, we got talent like that that's putting out great content for our program, on our campus, and they're all students and they want to do that. So for a student that's not a player to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning, ready to go, it shows a different level of commitment. And I think our people need to know what kind of people we have on our campus.
Well, Coach, I think, and I'll let Coach Cole go, but what I like most as a parent, I see somebody being authentic. And I think at this time, and Coach, like I said, we got a lot of people that spin stuff in many different ways. But when I saw that moment, I saw the authenticity of a coach with his players saying, hey, we getting ready to go on this march to get to Atlanta. And so I wanted to show people that, because I think it's real important, because like what you said, and listen, I'm a big fan of Prairie View. I'm a big fan of all HBCUs, but hey, my nephew Linus, you guys are a sleeping giant. I've always said that. The school is amazing. The students are amazing. The alumni is truly amazing. And you got the facilities. But what I think, what you said, and I guess maybe I'm going to turn to a question. How and what's your goal? Like you said, you got people 30 minutes away that don't even know Prairie View is that amazing. So what is your thing? And, are you talking to the alumni? Are you reaching out to coaches? Are you using social media, like I see, to get people to say, hey, hey, man, 30 minutes outside, like you say to the young man, you can be at home. Your parents can drive and don't have to go far away. And you can also because the bottom line, Coach, and let's be honest, and it makes no difference what level you're on. You could be at the University of Texas. 99% of you all are not going to the NFL. But
what it is.
That you can get a great degree from Prairie View. So it's percent this way, 99% that way. Which way should you go? So I just want to put that out there, Coach. So talk to us a little bit about that and your strategy to really get people in Texas to understand what Prairie View is.
Yeah, the goal, Ms. Campbell, is to be everywhere. We have a free tool in social media. That video didn't cost us no money to put out. Man, why aren't we using social media in a major way? If you just look at the places where I've been at, we've always used social media in a great way. And to really showcase our product. And so we try to be everywhere. Coach was talking about going to do speaking engagements. I've done 27 speaking engagements in 60 days. Like every other day, I've been somewhere talking about our program, our institution, what we came here to do. And I just think in order to get people to come to you, you got to go to the people. And so we try to go to the people in every way. Something that we're doing that I think is really unique, and I don't know if it's been done. We're going to take our scrimmage and our kids camp into the city, and we're going to play at Del Mar Stadium, Coach Cole. We're going to go relive that time. We're going to put our product at Del Mar.
You coaching?
That's it.
Use some Sam Cooke next time. Change is coming.
And so just trying to make sure we don't give people an excuse. Oh man, it's Saturday. I ain't got time to go to the hill. No, you got time to come to 610 in the loop. You got time to do that. This right by your house. So we're gonna come to the middle of Houston, bring our kids, have a kids camp for your kids, give back to our community while you come and see. You nosy, you want to know what we're running on offense and defense. You're gonna come anyway. So we just gonna come bring our product to the city and be everywhere. And then hopefully that pays off and people come back and see us and visit our campus. They can learn about our programs and our great institution.
Hey, Coach, what day would that scrimmage take place?
April 5th.
Okay. All right.
April 5th.
And what day is that?
That's a Saturday. So they ain't at work. They ain't at work. They
April
off.
5th.
And it's at
Okay.
11 o'clock. We're going to let you sleep in a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome, Coach. That's absolutely awesome. Awesome, like a pre-spring game almost.
Hey, and Rock, you heard it here first. I ain't told nobody. I left it. I saved it for Coach Cole and the boys.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna make me fly in. Dang, you'll put the pressure on your boy.
That's outstanding, Coach. That's a great idea to ingratiate yourself with the fans in your area. A lot of people have had a. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was asking.
No. I was just saying one of the problems, and Coach, you've mentioned it a number of times. I think the overall profile of Prairie View in the entire state has been underappreciated and underpromoted.
Yeah.
Right? Especially as a football program, considering, in our era coming up, they had some very bad press on the football side, right? What have you done to improve the profile of the football program with recruits all over the state?
Yeah, when I worked with Coach Cole, when I worked for him, he the first time that place was 4-40 when we walked in the door, right? But he made a statement that stuck with me for the rest of my career, or will stick with me for the rest of my career. And he said, y'all just because what you were don't mean we will be that. You can't treat me any kind of way. Like, man, well, people were trying to treat us like we were that, right? And so at Prairie View, people try to treat us like we 0-77. Man, that ain't us. None of our kids were born at that time. I vaguely remember it. So don't treat us that way. Treat us for what we have right now and what we're doing right now. But not just people in the state, our own people first. Don't treat us like it was when you went to school. This ain't that. We in a totally different time. And we're very vocal, Rock, about that from the inside. We inside out. We don't just go out and talk to all the other folks. When I meet an alum, Coach, what you going to do about game one? Well, first of all, we got this 35 for 35 fundraiser that can help us do something about all the games, including game one. Don't treat us like we lost to Texas Southern. Our record right now is 0-0. That's our record. So don't treat us like something that was, because that's not what we are. And so we know we have a good product. We talk about our product a lot. People say I'm cocky, and I'm just really confident in exactly what we came here to do, however long it takes us to do it. And man, Prairie View is a great place. It's a great product. It's a great institution. And we're a premier FCS program in the state of Texas. Ain't my fault. That's just what we are. And so if you can't handle that, they're scheduling opportunities for schools that want to try their luck. All they got to do is reach out to the AD. We got some 27, 28 openings on the schedule. We can get that done. We don't run from nobody. We believe in our product. And then there's season ticket opportunities for people that want to come see. Talk to us about it. Come see us. Then judge us on what we are. And then when you see me, you can talk about it. But right now, everybody needs to be excited. Everybody needs to get back to the hill. Everybody needs to support these young men and women that we got in our football program that are trying to put a great product out there for their entertainment.
Yeah, I got two questions really. number one, first, how much do you meet with your AD? And it seems like your AD and president, and you know, guys, I always talk about things that already supposed to be in place, no matter who the head coach is.
Yep.
You know, like Coach say, I'm the head coach. I'm supposed to meet the governor, the mayor, whoever is in that seat. How much do you and your AD talk and meet? Is it a monthly meeting? Is it a weekly meeting, or is it an everyday meeting?
It's daily.
Yeah.
It's daily. Either I'm in his office or he comes down to mine. The one good thing about AD Golf is he's a football player. He played football. He understands. He worked at St. John's where there was no football, and it was a basketball school. He was the AD there. He's been at Maryland. He's been at Michigan State. He's seen football at its highest levels, and then he's seen institutions at their highest level without football. So it's a very unique setup and a unique skill set that he has because he's seen it on so many different levels. So he and I meet every day, and we talk about something every day. And so, I get excited to meet with him. I'm going to ask him for some money. I tell him I'm out here on his credit right now. I'm still getting my feet wet, but no, we meet every day, Coach.
Now, being in HBCU, coming into the season, let's talk about compliance, because that's one of the major things that you can go get, Michael Singletary and a whole bunch of Division I-A NFL players. But if you can't get them eligible, and you know what we've been through, how is that? Is that changed at Prairie View compared to what you've been through? Are y'all, that is not going to be an issue? Are we working with you? How is that?
Yeah, I think things are well ahead of the game from what the experiences that you and I know together, and certainly the experiences that we've had just in small college football. We've got a great academic team. We've got a great compliance team. We meet often to stay in communication. There's a lot of evaluations of transcripts that happen, so we know on the front end whether we should recruit a kid or not. And so I think that really helps us so that we don't get to that point to where a kid is walking out of the tunnel and be told he's not eligible. I can't foresee that happening here at Prairie View A&M because we got so many things in place departmentally for that not to be the case. We meet every week academically with our academic person, and on Tuesday we met with her today, and so we're really, really ahead of the game on that.
Bishop and Rocky, man, you talking about some nightmares. I got some stories for you. I got some stories where kids was walking on the field with their helmets and shoulder pads, getting tapped on the shoulder and say, man, you ineligible. And then get a kid out of the stand and say, oh, man, well, get his stuff because you eligible and you not eligible. So, in this recruiting war, in this recruiting battle, in the HBCU realm, we got to definitely get better at that. And hopefully we have, with of course, talking to Coach Jackson and Prairie View lead the way. So I wanted to make sure I touch base with you on that.
I'll tell you this too, Coach. The rules are different too. Mm-hmm. In a lot of ways, the rules, man, all the research we used to have to do, so a lot of those rules have been taken out of the book just because of all the free transferring and things that you can do now that you used to couldn't do then. And so I think we're really ahead of the game. But I wanted to let you know, I was talking to DC earlier. I said, man, if we had had this book, it would have been a lot easier 15 years ago.
Yeah. Maybe the top wide receiver from Florida State that we recruited.
He would be eligible today, Coach. He would be eligible, no problem.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I wanna do something right quick just to show the people how simple this is, Coach. So I hope I don't mess it up. So this is the 35 for 35. I'm on the site right here on my computer. I got my deal in here. I hope I got some money, Coach. I think I do.
So if you put your phone up to that, you can send the money.
Yeah, you can. You can, absolutely you can. And then you do that there.
Real, Coach. Let me see. It's real. PayPal. Bam! 35.
Head back to you. Say head back to my.
And we've got those links in the chat to let everybody know. Those links are in the chat. Because
boy, look at them boys. They working, Coach. I'm winning everything, Coach. I got all stars. They going to find the stuff.
That's it. That's it, Coach. We need it.
Huh?
We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. But yeah, Coach. It's pretty simple, Coach. You just go up here and you use this. You click on this. Now I'm gonna tell you, Coach. FAMU had one that was so easy that it was hard to mess up in FAMU.
we chasing them. Mr. Campbell gonna give me the secret.
No, the secret is we make sure we getting real checks this year. That's the secret. That's the secret. That's why we had to make it so easy. We had to make up for that $237 million that we didn't get.
Now
you being on your own people, man.
Man, listen,
it be
it
your
don't
own
matter,
people.
man. Listen, man. We know. Hey, listen. That's why we clean house. We know what to do. We still bragging different, brother. We all right.
Coach, this is our last question because we got AD Suggs from FAMU. She's in the green room, coming right behind you. But this is what I want to ask you, Coach, because this is probably of all the questions we've asked tonight. This is the most important question. What are y'all doing for homecoming, Coach?
So we're playing Lincoln University in California. We had a school, North American. They dropped football. AD Golf went out and found Lincoln University. So let me address this. In today's atmosphere of college athletics, it is extremely hard to find a game, one, because a homecoming game especially, at that point in the season, everybody's already in conference, right? So the non-conference stuff is not active anymore. People are vying for playoff spots and things of that nature, and people that that I've seen that we would want to play, right? We had to find the best situation for us to ensure that we had a homecoming game. Because if not, we wouldn't have had a home game in October, which we could not afford to do. And so our department, our AD, did the best that he could with the cards we were dealt. Somebody said, we got to give this money to the black colleges. Well, there's a negotiation phase that has to happen. They have to agree to what we're offering. And so there's a lot of misconceptions with people thinking that scheduling is easy. I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with scheduling here at Prairie View A&M, because at my last institution, I had to do it. And that's why you see schedules coming out on different levels later and later and later. It's March the 4th, and there's a lot of schools on the lower level that don't have a full schedule or can only find 10 games. Then when you add the conference realignment stuff that's happening and everybody positioning to be where they want to be, you got coaches on the hot seat that might not want to play Prairie View A&M because when we beat them, that might put them over the top at PWIs. And so there's just a lot that goes into it. I'm excited about getting 65,000 people on the hill. I'm even more excited about 15,000 of those 65,000 coming in the stadium and not leaving after the third quarter, but staying for the whole game and supporting these young men that we got put out here on this field. So I can't wait to see it. Save me a piece of barbecue afterwards. I'll be right out to get it. But we got a homecoming game last week in October, and we look forward to having a good time.
Oh, yeah, Coach. I was there last year, and I had a fantastic time. The tailgate was amazing. You're going to have to get a few more of them to come into the game, Coach. Though the tailgate was overran, when it was time to come in the game, they was like, oh, we just going to sit out here and fellowship.
Hey, Rob, I told them we're going to stop pouring liquor when the ball about to kick off. That'll get everybody in the game at that point. We stop. Ain't no more. I done told all the Qs, cut the liquor off and get them in the game. And so we should be all right this year.
Jack. They got the biggest circle of Qs.
I know. I done told the bro, we need you to come in the game.
Coach, it was a sellout. But you couldn't tell by inside the stadium. I don't know what they did with the people, but the game was so loud.
They gonna support us. They coming in this year.
All right, Coach. Anything else, guys? Man, I want to thank you, Coach, for coming on personally, man. It's always a pleasure interviewing you. Coach Campbell, Mr. Coach Cole, you got anything before we let him go?
You have two. She's in the green room?
Yes, sir.
We need to let him make some more money. We need to throw that up on the side. The Venmo stuff.
Yeah. It's pasted up it's in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say one other last thing for Coach, because we got that 35 thing going on. So for all you guys, I'm gonna tell you what Coach also like. How about 3,500 minimum season tickets being purchased?
Come on.
So I'm gonna put the Prairie View. I'm gonna put the pressure on your neck, because you keep talking about you want to be like FAMU. Because we gonna show you how we about to show you when my AD come on. So I'm gonna tell you, Prairie View people, you got a great coach. We trying to raise money. I didn't even go to Prairie View and I'm doing the stuff. So I'm challenging all y'all 3,500 season tickets. That's what I need to hear, Coach. Let me get back to me when.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
Hey, listen, man. I really appreciate you guys. Anything y'all ever need from us, let me know. I know I'm gonna see y'all soon. I know Coach Cole gonna come and get down here. Bring you a whistle. Bring you a whistle and a marker. I might get you to teach my OC something, a thing or two.
Hey, I'm gonna hang out with you, baby. I'm gonna be the walk-on coach.
That's it.
I got something to add, baby. I'm the walk-on coach.
Hey, Coach, I gotta tell you now. I know you because you ain't watch, but I got an Escalade. It's legendary. My Escalade is legendary. Now you gonna have to pull the Escalade up down.
Come on.
Now I need a spot for it. Now I didn't say
you can have my
Escalade for
spot.
One day.
You can have my spot. I'll walk.
Right. We gonna bring it on. We gonna bring it down there. Thick 36 coming with me.
That's it. Man, I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you need something my way. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you again.
Man, y'all was all right, boy. Y'all did it, coach. Y'all don't did the damn thing. We raising money for coaches. We look, man. We ain't saying it. We doing it, coach. That's off the charts, baby. That's what we do here.
Absolutely. Now, with no further ado, I had to turn this over to Mr. Campbell. You know how we get down. You know, Rattlers bring up Rattlers. All right.
Listen, Vice President Director of Athletics, the 19th Athletic Director of Florida A&M University, my AD, Angela Suggs. You see that? Now, Ed, you got your mic muted, so we got to. There you go.
Well, let me say something. Is that she's on?
Yeah, there she goes.
Yeah.
Can she hear us? Can we hear her?
I can hear you. Good evening, everyone.
Can I say one thing? This is not a Florida A&M chat. No, I'm just kidding.
See, listen. So I want people to understand what we're going to do tonight, because we have a lot of time. And Coach, I really want you to talk about this. We have a lot of people to talk about ADs and what they should do. And what AD Suggs is going to talk about is being an AD, some of the challenges that she's going through, and also get really specific about some of the things that fans complain about, why the ticket's going up, why we can't have things on the hill, and those challenges. So AD Suggs, I'm going to get right into it, because one of the things that most important thing being an AD is forward-facing things. And one forward-facing thing is evaluating coaches and hiring coaches. So when you came in with a very interesting situation. You had a coach that was hired by the previous regime, but only got a 1-year contract. You watched and you observed the coach, and then you felt that this coach had done enough compared to what FAMU usually does, because FAMU, we go contract to contract, start date, end date, then we talk to you. But you saw the necessary need that Coach Prairie had done enough where you thought enough of him and his ability, what he had done, to give him a contract. So I want you to talk about how you did the evaluation, why did you think it was important, and also how did you get the consensus to move that, to get it, as they say, in front of the board to get that contract. So I want you to talk about his previous contract, what he's getting now, and that thought process.
Sure. And
he didn't say hi, did he? He'll put you on the spot, but hi.
Let's just go right into it, right? And so I was blessed to be able to come into an opportunity where we have a great team of coaches that are there. with this particular coach, I'll just get right into the answer. Before I came on board, as we were trying to take a look at it, and once the decision was made, and once I was on my way, as God would set it up in this entire journey, right? My master's degree is from St. Thomas University. President Armstrong and I are friends. And so as I took a look at it, and I was sitting, on the sideline, even observing everything as it was happening, around the time that we were definitely coming to the university, I made some phone calls. Spent a good deal of time in Miami. Lived there 10 years, got my start really in sports there in the Miami Gardens area even. And so President Armstrong had some great things to say about Coach Prairie. Didn't want to lose him, and we were able to have some conversations there. And so we started taking a look at it even before I came on board. And then once I got there, I had a chance to meet him, his family, and just take a look at the way that the program was being set up, the way that he's interacting with the staff that he was assembling, those young men that were brought in. And then, of course, once we got into play, it was just really, really good. It was a good fit, a good vibe. And so we definitely wanted to go in there. And it all matters as it relates to optics and recruitment and the like. And we were able to come in and add those 2 years on, right? So a 2-year extension, we started the conversation not even 6 months into the current contract, which was the 1 year. And so, of course, we've heard the questions. Well, why not another 3 years? Well, let's do these 3 years. Let's continue to talk, because it's about this for all of our coaches, right? We have 9 amazing coaches that are there, and you were like, oh yeah, 9 coaches in 14 sports. Well, track and field is 5 sports. And so with that, our 9 head coaches that head this up, and what we have in terms of this opportunity, I was just able to take the information that I received, talk to definitely with the support of President Beard, and speaking with the chair of the committee that we needed to go before, and just laying out some information, being able to show where we're trying to go and build that consensus and get that support. And we are super excited that we now have a 3-year relationship that we can continue to build upon for our men and women's basketball coaches, as well as our football coach. And then as we look at what we're going to do for our other coaches moving forward.
Now, some of the incentives that you put into the contract, because there was a baseline contract, talk about some of the things that you said, to keep this coach, that you added, that you kind of looked at, because again, you've done contracts, you understand about coaching, and you understood the landscape. So what were some of the things that you kind of put in there to add on to make the coach feel, appreciated?
Sure. And so there's some escalation in terms of the base salary that goes year by year. And so there'll be an escalation next year, another one the following year. There are some incentives there as it relates to winning, and Coach of the Year, and some others, but also as it relates to revenues and the bringing in some opportunities there. We played Florida very close when we went to Gainesville, and our score was, even closer than some of the other Power Fours that Florida faced. And so just taking a look at that and how there can be some add-on as it relates to our coach, as we have done with previous coaches before.
Awesome.
All right, AD Suggs, I wanted to bring you on because Mr. Campbell insisted. No, I'm just but no, one of the interesting things about you coming on, it was almost like it was a consensus, and you rarely get this in business. It was a consensus among the FAMU faithful and the administration of the school that you were the best person for the job, right? With that being said, did that add pressure on you to deliver in the way as an AD, not only wins and programs, but also money and revenue, and also in a situation where you may even have to balance an unbalanced budget?
So, I mean, the pressure makes diamonds, right? And so as we take a look at this opportunity, and I was a part of a process a couple of years back. But again, from a timing perspective, we just had a few more things that we needed to do with the Florida Sports Foundation, and the timing again in terms of receiving the phone call and getting the opportunity to come at when the timing was best for me to come. I'm an alum. I'm FAMU through and through. You guys have heard the story. Born in the hospital. FAMU High Kindergarten through 12th grade, and went across the street and graduated from FAM. And so I'm a proud alum. I married a Rattler. And so with that, and I've been on the campus before, so I get it. So consensus is a big word, like they say on any given Sunday, well, on any given day, if I, don't say yes at the right time, that may not be my day, but we know that the journey, the goal of where we're trying to go, we're trying to, pave a road and a pathway that we continue excellence. I wouldn't call it pressure. I'm definitely honored to work with a great team, to take a look at what we can do collectively to leave a legacy. Today, we named 3 different roads for legendary Rattlers, from a former tennis player to a former community leader, and then of course, a championship coach, a legendary coach, a historic coach, and Coach Rudy Hubbard. And so the pressure, I mean, is something that we just, we come to the table. Actually, in answering this question, because it kind of seems like I'm rolling around it, right? We accept it. These 18 to 24-year-olds, almost 300 of them, that's why we do it. That's why I came back. That's why I took a look at coming back and being able to build upon some things, create some additional programs that Rattlers can be proud of, that we can then look back on and say that we were able to establish a foundation in this new landscape of intercollegiate athletics, because everything is changing. Nothing is like it was when I left. And so while I was there before, I'm back 7.5 years later in a landscape that is not the same as what I left.
I bring it up because without being, I get charged with being messy all the time, but though you guys had tremendous success on the field at FAMU in football before you got there, but you really came on during what I would consider a very tumultuous time for FAMU. And then since you've been there, the waters have really kind of calmed, not only on the athletic front, but just in general. Because you weren't part of the tumultuous time, as an alum, what did you think was going on during that time? I just want to get because, I know I talked to Mr. Campbell daily about how things were happening, and it seemed like it was always something. Every 2 weeks, it was always something. As an alum, what were you thinking during that time? And then how did that factor into you making the decision to come back on campus?
Sure. Well, it's something happening every day, everywhere. People just love the Rattlers. And so, the orange is brighter and the green is tighter. And so our news kind of spreads a little bit faster, right? And so as an alum, I knew that we would get through it. I knew that we've been facing tough times since 1887. It's going to be something that will happen. And in this day and age of 24/7 access, right? You can get a story to millions of people in 2 seconds, whether it's all the way true or maybe a part of the way true, and no one ever reads the retraction, right? And so with that, that's just the day and age that we live in. Again, I knew that we would get through it the way that we've gotten through so many ups and downs and what have you. And that my decision to come back, again, it was just good timing. Our daughter had graduated from high school, those 2 years that came after me being in the process before I was able to be there with her junior and senior year and see some things, because this college athletic schedule and the schedule that I had before, I would travel during the week, right? And on the weekends, I was pretty much at home. Well, now we are traveling during the week, on the weekends, and the like, and just the timing is better. And so the decision to come back and speaking with my husband and just kind of talking with, just as a family, talking with our daughter. Again, she's a freshman student athlete, and there are going to be some games that I'm going to miss in person, but thank goodness we have streaming. And I can still, keep up with where she is and what she's doing.
Well, that was a real classy answer, and I appreciate it. I'll let Coach Cole answer the next question before I ask the number. Go ahead, Coach.
So, thank you for giving us your time. And so I'm gonna ask some questions. I know, unlike a football coach, you get training. You start off as a GA and you move on up. And I don't think being an athletic director, it's just that process. It's kind of like you go through compliance, being in the HBCU realm myself, and then next thing you know, you're an athletic director. Where do you guys learn how to choose, and especially choose a football coach? Of course, I've been around 40 years. You come in there, you got this whole committee. You got the dorm director, the food person, all these people that don't even know nothing about football to make a decision on a football guy.
Right.
Is that an AD training method? Is that, and it's so old school, because back in the day, coaches used to have to work in the dormitory. I get it, but we're talking about now choosing a $1,000-year ago, because we ain't in the millions yet, a guy that to lead our program. And as go ahead and answer that, then I'll continue with a couple more questions.
Thank you, Coach. And so for me, my journey was a little different. My path. So I never was head of compliance or a compliance. I never worked in compliance other than when I was SWA. And of course, we had to know the rules and the sports that but we had great compliance people. I never worked in academics. Well, at the college level. I spent some time as a high school guidance counselor, but never worked in academics at the collegiate level. So I've always been external as it relates to my journey in sports. And so got my start at Joe Robbie, then Pro Player Stadium, in club level sales. And so dealing with those premium seats and that kind of thing. When I came on, Coach Bill Hayes. So you talk about, I've heard all the stories. And so Coach Hayes brought me on to the spearhead 1,000 Strikes program. And so then it grew from there, but it still, landed me when I left FAMU as senior associate for external affairs. So everything that was forward facing. Go on to Florida Sports Foundation and had the opportunity to serve as CEO there for those 7.5 years. And so it's about choosing talent, period, for the right seats on the bus for me, as it relates to choosing coaches. The softball coach that we selected, I took a look at just in terms of fit, in terms of speaking with her, how, what was her vision, what was, her philosophy on guiding these young ladies to championships. Of course, and people have heard me say this before, in athletics, we're going to help academic affairs as we graduate students from our institution. Not just student athletes, but all the students, but definitely for us, our student athletes. We're going to work with academic affairs in partnership, in tandem to get that done. We're going to work with student affairs in terms of grooming them and mentoring them and motivating them to become great men and women. Our job is to win trophies, championships, to bring value to the institution. And so what men and women, what person, and speaking with Coach Cozy on a regular basis, our job is to put FAMU on the world's biggest stages so that we can then promote our rankings as, a top number one HBCU public institution in the entire country, that we can then, brag about all of the different accolades for the institution. But then also we bring 100,000 people to the footprint in the fall, and then over the course of the year, more than 100,000 people that we bring to campus to see the university. And so who is it that, while winning, and then I'm going to also, speak with some of my colleagues that have selected winning coaches. I'm going to speak with some winning coaches about how they were selected. It's not just going to be a one-woman show on this. And of course, having a president that supports athletics and is, definitely understands, that's how we're going to look at it moving forward. X's and O's, the commitment to success and winning, both on and off the field, but on the field matters. On the field matters. That, we're going to have great GPAs and we're going to have all of that. But, our job, again, is to continue to build upon what Coach Gaither, Coach Hubbard that came through today, of course, Coach Riley and others that have come, and whoever is heading up our program. And we talked to Coach Cozy, and Coach Cozy understands. And that's the expectation, is to continue that moving forward.
Yeah. Now speaking of the process, you are athletic director, and on our show we had this show about what is the HBCU's process, because of choosing a head football coach. You have one, and it seems that we're all over the board. You don't have to have a degree. You got to have a degree. You got to have a master. You don't have a master's. Is winning, getting, understanding where my program is. If for instance, you guys had a championship program, so what no use to you guys out looking for a championship coach per se, because you had them right there. You know what I'm saying? Is my program bad? Where my program is located, because you talked about the fit. But the other thing we threw out was the street committee. How much does the street committee, should it play a role? And how much does a man's resume go in HBCU? You around, you're AD, you talk to these ADs, you see some of these new hires that's coming around and going. We all over the board. How is that process? I know you probably do it a different way, because, it seems like you didn't come through the system. You kind of stayed around the system and maybe seen some things as a CEO of going out and looking to hire the best. So does the street committee matters? What is the process? Does being a championship coach matters? Kind of go through that.
So we choose to go to work every day in a profession that is powered by the passion of the people, also known as fans.
Love it.
And so the street committee, the street committee matters in a whole lot of places: church, school, wherever. I'm of the community. I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, yes, there's some that elect by committee. We see what's happening now. And again, like we spoke about, the landscape is changing. Now, in the state of Florida, you need a degree to be a head coach. So I can't speak about other states, but we are a public institution, and so we are state employees. Our head coach is an employee of the state, and so there are some guidelines and some different rules and different
T's
that happen there. And so with that, as we look at the model that's going to work best, you just got to take a look at what leadership is looking for. And again, we take that into consideration when I came and took this job, and speaking with, President Beard, and understanding the leadership, and definitely looking at what's going to be best for Florida A&M. The committees aren't always bad. Sometimes committees are great. Sometimes being able to select. I mean, I went through both. I went through a committee process with AD, and I went through I'm here not through a committee.
Well, let me.
So
AD Suggs, I'm gonna get straight to the point, because Coach is dancing around the direct question. What is your opinion on hiring celebrity coaches at HBCUs?
I got a lot of celebrity friends that would make great coaches, and that have made great coaches. And I mean, as an external person, I think that if they are great in terms of being the CEOs of those field houses and those programs, while also carrying a value that is definitely beneficial. We want you, we want your friends, we want the influence, we want to be able to raise support, we want to be able to raise visibility. They're coming with millions of followers, and we can get the message out and fill these stadiums and get things going. I mean, hey, I don't have a problem with it. But you can do the same thing with, again, the person that's the right fit. I don't think that it should be held against them because they've done well professionally as an athlete. Our daughter's high school boys basketball team, the head coach is Charlie Ward. I mean,
a sensational guy. A sensational guy.
And so
the history of Charlie Ward. He's
say it again.
Coach, very successful high school coach.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm from Tallahassee. Thomasville is right up the road.
Charlie,
so yes,
coach in Houston, long time ago.
Yes. Now, Coach Cole, both his parents are Rattlers.
Yeah.
He met on the campus of Florida A&M. His mom was a good Delta. His dad. So good Omega. So we get it. We understand, definitely. With that, but really back to the celebrity coaching thing, I think it definitely creates opportunities for our institutions to raise value, to raise revenues, to raise attendance, to have, because people, again, I'm of the community. Yeah, we want to see, so we coming to see.
But see, Florida A&M, the blue blood schools like Florida A&M and Jackson State, that they gonna get some folk. They're gonna get some folk because you're gonna win. At the end of the day, that's just when you get a celebrity at a Florida A&M or Jackson State, all that does is top things off because right. You got what's the average of season tickets at Florida A&M?
Is it average price?
No, the average sold every year.
We kick around about 3,500. We push up on 4,000, something along those lines. For many years we were in the top 3 in FCS attendance. Yeah, even in years of challenge and that kind of thing. But now, remember, Florida A&M has had a celebrity coach. We had the good Earl Holmes, and we started celebrity-isms. Jay Gaither was a celebrity.
Hey, and I'm afraid
Ian Riley.
Earl stunk. He wasn't like your Billy Jones and your Rudy. He stunk.
Oh Lord! Don't do my homeboy like that.
Every tackle on the football field. He was a great player, but he.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's okay. AD Suggs. Let me ask you a question, because he just kind of leads into something. So you talk about celebrity coaches, we talk about resources.
Right.
You don't have celebrity coaches. People are looking at you to talk about resourcing, talking about fundraising and things like that. And this is what I think is important, because we have an AD on. Talk about how you had to evaluate some of the things, which leads into a couple of things I want to talk to you about, because we hear a lot of people saying, we want to have a better stadium. We want to have a better experience, but those things cost money. So talk to us about two things that I think people need to understand that you have to work through, and how do you put a process together? Because I think your experience mattered in this about analyzing. First, we had what we call the Investor for Champions package. We've now gone away from that, and talk about the new ticket package, and also talk about what sponsorship really means and what the challenge is, that you just can't walk out the door and say, oh, sponsor. And how do you have to go forward and some of your goals for sponsorship, for, you know, naming rights and things like that. So let's kind of talk about that.
Sure. So I'll talk about the packages. We definitely have to be data driven in today's industry and today's approach as it relates to sustainable revenues. We've got to be intentional about it, right? We can't just say we're going to sell 5,000 season tickets. Well, based on what? Why is 5,000 that number? You know, how are we going to get to that? What we want to be able to dig into is how many tickets have we sold? How many parking spaces? What is your appetite? What is our fan base's appetite for premium seating? How much are we willing to pay for it? Of course, we have the Florida Classic that has all levels of seating opportunities. We have nosebleeds, we have suites, we have club seats, we have loge boxes. And so we have a game annually where we are able to kind of take a look at that. But then in that day where we renovate or get into a new stadium for ourselves, we want to have some sort of foundation, some sort of baseline that we can take that data and know how many, seats we need to put in a bowl-like situation, or what would club seats look like for us? What would low seating look like for us? But we don't want to just look at that from a blind place of anticipation. We really want to be able to take a look at data, not just annual sales, but look at growth, look at dips, look at why people are buying the way that they are buying. We have the Orange Blossom Classic that we're going back to now. And so by peeling this apart, and this is not to say that we won't come back with some sort of package opportunity, but in 2025, we are using this year to have conversations, to do surveys, to put out what the fans are wanting so that we can have buy-in, that we can have participation, because where we were, it started out great. I was there when I typed up the initial table that we then put into the flyer for investing in champions. But now that was 2015, 2014, somewhere around there. That's been more than 10 years ago that we did that. And so now that indoor club seat that we initially put out, and that seat might have been $5 or $100, you got 3 of them, or you got 2 of them in most of the packages. That seat is now $300. So, the parking is $75 at this one game. And so as we're looking at right sizing that, it's definitely, this is a revenue stream. It's a revenue opportunity for us. And so as we take a look at what we're going to do moving forward, our revenue strategy has got to yield revenues, yes, to take care of our expenses, but for us to also be able to feed into growing the program. The goal is to grow the budget. In order to grow the budget, you've got to grow the resources. It's not just cutting. You can't cut your way to success.
Let me ask you.
Yes, we're going to be efficient and effective about how we spend, but at the same time, we've got to put focus on being able to grow our revenues as well. I'm sorry, Rocky.
Yeah,
no, that was Coach.
I'm sorry, Coach.
Do you have any input of deciding who's the opponent for FAMU and the OBC?
No.
Oh, okay. Is that a committee, OBC committee type?
Well, they have a board, but also the executive director, Kendra Bullock, the owner of the game. And, so again, they go out and negotiate. She's an AD in her own right as it relates to that game, as they go out and negotiate contracts with opponents.
Well, and let's talk about, why do you think they brought FAMU? Because again, that was our classic, born and bred. But can you talk a little bit about why they were excited to bring FAMU back to the Orange Blossom Classic and what FAMU kind of brings to the table? And is this a 1-year deal, or are we going to be consistently playing an Orange Blossom Classic, or just something, hey, we'll do this year and we'll see going forward?
Sure. And so the Orange Blossom Classic, of course, is a FAMU tradition. And the goal has always been for FAMU to play someone in the Orange Blossom Classic. And so in coming back, there was an opportunity for us to speak with Kendra and speak, have her board to bless our return. Same thing on our side. Am I speaking with Dr. Beard, speaking with our board members and others, and coming back and bringing the game back. We're excited to do that. It's a 5-year deal, and with an option there to negotiate, future terms and longer terms there. And so that's where we are. It goes back to the core, is the student athlete experience. In this deal, we, in terms of the investment in Florida A&M, the investment from the Orange Blossom Classic board and that organization, it's rivaling and many times topping some of our Power 4 contracts that we have. And so with that, to have our guys be able to have that experience in an NFL stadium, NFL locker room, coming through the tunnel where overhead you got orange and green lights and whatever the colors are of the opposing team, for those guys to be able to experience that, to have luncheons where they are able to meet and shake hands with CEOs of Fortune 500 companies and others that are there, the corporate sponsors that are there, the way that they move about the city, the way that they have these workshops and opportunities, the players' lounges that they have with barbers and other experiences there. That's what you want. That's what you want these guys to be able to experience, and then be able to win and have touchdowns in Hard Rock Stadium. That's what we're going there for, is to give our guys that great experience and to be able to pour into resourcing our success as well.
I know you said you had no input on who y'all would play. Is there any chance y'all could be playing Lincoln of California in that game?
My name is Bennett.
I want to answer that. Well, here's the thing. This goes back to, this is a business decision, right? And AD said, this is what we talked about. You have to make business decisions for family. When they brought that contract, if it wasn't money making for family, we wouldn't be there. I'm assuming that the Orange Blossom Classic would think the same thing. That's the reason why I believe Howard University, that we have played an old foe of ours, a well-known HBCU, and why FAMU and Howard are playing the first game. So to answer your question, Rocky, it's obvious. They're trying to get people in the seats. So
absolutely. I went last year and I was very disappointed as a fan. My wife and I went, and I was very disappointed as a fan because you talked up the Orange Blossom Classic, and because of North Carolina Central and Alabama State was playing, it was a very scattered crowd. I talked about Orange Blossom Classic when Florida A&M University is there. So let's be clear.
The Orange Blossom Classic is a great game. I was there last year as well. And in all fairness, what I will say, it was a whole monsoon. You had several rain delays. We really don't know how many people were actually planning to be there or planning to come, because for us, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, if it looks like it's gonna rain.
It was crazy.
And it's on television. So if it's raining sideways, you already know that's gonna impact it as well.
Ms. Suggs, let me say this too again. You know, I always talk from my experience with HBCUs and sometimes why we don't grow. And me and Campbell, we talk about athletic directors, and some of them come in and don't have the experience of really being an athletic director and being in place. You know, and because I'll be honest, I'm against celebrity coaches.
I know.
Because
I'm a fan of the show. I know.
I'm just old school. I believe in earning respect.
I know that too.
Even you could drive a go-kart and then I'm gonna put you in my NASCAR. No, we ain't doing that. You know, some of the things that I see, and you tell me if it's very important. You know, and you were talking about ticket sales, putting butts in seats. And you know, I get these texts from these guys, and you know, Michael Vick is taking a picture with the governor, and this guy's taking a picture with the mayor, and they at the nursery hospital, and I'm saying, and I've said to these guys, these are the things that athletic directors supposed to already put in place, no matter who the head coach, because you know, people, you got to go out and meet people, especially our people. Our kind of people, like, because I had success. You know, I took over Texas Southern 4-40, worst team in the conference, but we didn't get people until we were able to go out in the public, you know, and we had Coach Jackson on early on all the things they're doing.
Right. How
you need to let, or you should let, or if you think that those things in touching the public, you got to leave campus. You know, you got to go where Black folks at and sell your product. Because if you're going to sit and wait on them to come in, that's why I feel that a lot of Black colleges are in these places because they don't understand. When you in that spot, you got to go serve. You can't stand on there and say kiss the ring if you're going to be successful. You got to be able to go out and serve. Kind of go through your philosophy on that and how important you think that is.
Sure. And Coach, you're spot on. And that is back to Mr. Campbell, your earlier question about challenges, right? That's a challenge for us, particularly at low resource institutions, where, again, I've always been on the external side of the house. And I like to say, and it's a joke, if any of the people that were on Milton staff when I left, they hear this, hopefully they'll laugh as well. But when I left, they replaced me with 6 people. And I was senior associate for external affairs, you know, and they split it out. And now, you know, you have but our sister institution across the road over there, the AD can go out because a lot of the internal things that we just don't have the number of people. If my intent, and this is just where we're trying to grow through, right? Grow through, is that if my intent is to get out, and we know at HBCUs, the fan base want to talk to, there could be a lot of people that they can talk to, but they want to talk to the AD and the president about everything. Everything. The ice wasn't cold enough. Right. The coffee wasn't hot enough, right? You know, let me speak to the AD. And I'm learning that. And, you know, I still pinch myself like, oh, you're talking to me. But with that, we do have to get out. It's just a matter of getting out, because we also want to make sure that inside is right. We want to be able to respond to the fans that are calling. We want to be able to respond to the stakeholders, to the supporters, to the people that are helping us to move. We want to make everyone feel like they are, you know, the only fan that we have. But we've got to figure out how to resource that from a capital perspective. Campbell, that's another reason why we changed this ticket program, because we've got to be able to staff and support a package program. We got to be able to have the people that are going to be able to get the packages out on time.
And right.
We've got to, right, and we've got to be able to have enough people that can answer the phone. We get it. We want to be able to say, they'll never answer the phone. Well, if we got a line of people and we only have 3 people working or 2 people working, some of our institutions only have 1 person working in the ticket office. So yeah, we want to be able to answer the phone. We want to be able to work the windows because we want people at the windows. And we know now we have this day and age where we're transitioning and moving people to a paperless environment and that kind of thing. Well, that requires phone calls as well, because a lot of our fans, a lot of our supporters are longtime supporters. We're walking them through how to download the ticket or how to access the ticket and how to do all these things. So, but then we do need to go out. We have to be in the community. One of the things that I came in and I said at the press conference, and we want to bring the city out. We want to look at the 850. We want to look at the area or 90-mile radius, how you can get here and go away, because we need people at our Tuesday baseball games the same way we need people at our Saturday football games. We need people at our Monday and Thursday night basketball games the same way we need people on the weekends, 5, sometimes 4, sometimes 6 times in the fall. So, but we've got to get out into the community to get that done. We've also got to fill the empty seats, and we got to fill those empty seats with new people. But we can't reach new people if we aren't getting out there in front of the new people. I am committed to making sure that we don't grow our resources on the backs of the core, that we don't just keep increasing prices for the people who have been longtime supporters. And while it may look like there is somewhat of a price increase, it's really not, as it relates to what we're doing now with season tickets. If we have a $250 package, we're looking at, we have a family package that is $350 for 4 games for 4 tickets. So we have something for everyone that can come in there, but getting out into the public, getting out, going out there, that's where we are. We are a little bit different, right?
Of course, of course, always have an angle. And this is what I try to tell my guys and not my audience about being a head football coach. How much and taking over an HBCU job. You just ain't wearing one hat and you go in there talking X and O if you want to win in program.
That's right.
How much do you put on your coaches, your head coaches, of getting out and, setting them up with speaking engagements, or they're creating some of their own? One of the things I've done, I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I was with the Baptist Preachers Union. I took my team to church. We went to hospitals. But like you say, you got to get out there.
Right.
How much do you put on your coaches, and do you set them up with speaking engagements? How does that work for you guys?
So again, me coming in with the coaches having already been there, all of them with the exception of softball and bowling, they've already had some connections in the community. And so they were already doing that. I think it's very important. I think that people give to people, people support people. I think they need to see you in the grocery store. I think they need, because I'm a product of old people, so I understand old school. And I get it. I'll call out one of my colleagues, Ashley Robinson, when we went to Jackson. Ashley, and I'll call him out because he's from Jackson and I'm from Tallahassee. And so we know a lot of people in our hometowns, but that Ashley, he's got the city on lock. I said I wanted some catfish. He made a phone call. I went to the place that he called, and those people treated me like I was wearing blue and white. And just really took care of us because he's in the community, right? That's the same thing as it relates to being here in Tallahassee and getting our coaches out and having the community to come. And so, because people support people.
You're speaking, boy. You speak. Well, I be trying to tell them, and that's what you understand. You don't necessarily have to have the money in HBCUs, but the relationships are just probably more important. You know, that you got to be able to get out and make those things happen. So yeah, you know, like the bishop said, you're the right person. So man, we look at big things. Now, let me say this, Ms. Suggs, I've done some research, you know, and I hope I don't get my neck cut out. You know, there's only been 2 women athletic directors who have won championship football programs. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we want you to be the third. And it's been priced down, but you know, you guys are now with you know, having a lot of women athletic directors. I think is good for the sport.
Yes, yes, certainly. That's the plan. You know, I want 14 SWAC championships in the same year, so that's the goal. And then we're just going to push it from there. We need to get beyond the first round of everywhere that we go.
Let me ask you this, AD Suggs, because this is something a lot of times in the conversations about when we talk about the responsibility of ADs. Everybody pays attention to the coaching hires that you make. Being exposed to FAMU, everybody pays attention to where you can tailgate. You know what I mean? Because that's a big deal, obviously, at FAMU at one point, where you can tailgate. But when I observe other ADs, and I live in a city where there's a Power 5 school, when I observe Mac Rhodes from Baylor, majority of his time is really running capital campaigns for his athletic programs. That's what it seems like from the outside. He has capital campaigns. He's doing campus improvements, whether it be football, baseball, softball, all that kind of stuff. And that seems like his primary function as AD. Do you see fundraising and running capital campaigns as your primary function at FAMU?
Absolutely. My contract is public record. It's been in the paper and everywhere. My contract is very heavy in fundraising. Very. So we got to get this thing figured out because I got to get out in these good streets and meet the goal. And so it is something that I mean, it's I'm the chief source raiser for our department. But now I'm on Baylor's staff directory, and there's a whole bunch of people on here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 people under university advancement on the athletic.
Oh, yeah. There's a huge athletic staff. Don't get me wrong.
5 resource development. And so he's got, you know, a bunch of people to handle everything from turning the air on to doing everything else.
You're absolutely right.
Now, Ms. Suggs, I can put my suit on now.
Now, well, let's talk about that. Have you been able to expand the staff the way that it seems like Tremaine Jackson did for Prairie View coming in, taking over that position? He found a creative way to expand the staff. Have you found a way to expand your staff in athletics to give you some assistance and free you up to do some of those things that you are obligated to do?
Yeah, we're working on it. Definitely, that is top of mind. Again, we have no excuses. We're just looking at time and taking it each day and putting as much into it as we possibly can. I know it seems like I've been here a long time, but you know, you got October, throw in homecoming, throw in Thanksgiving, throw in Christmas, and give us a snowmageddon, you know, and we've been here for about maybe 7-8 weeks of working week.
Your 19 charitable, how did that go? Your $19, was it $19?
Yes, and so our Black Dollar Giving group and Kenya and her leadership of that amazing group of people and our huge supporters, it went well. It really did go well. And so we were able to raise some resources to be able to pour back into the program. And we'll do more like that. They have another initiative that's running right now, but there are so many great groups of supporters that we are just truly appreciative of, again, their commitment to, and they've been around a long time. Many of them, this is one of the newer initiatives. And so we are excited to continue to grow in that way.
Now, AD Suggs, I want to ask you a question. It's Women's History Month, and and you are a Black woman.
I am.
And Rocky
A
talked
pretty one.
about, there you go. But one of the things I think is very important that young women will watch this and look up to you. Talk to us about the challenges and also because of qualification, because you had to be qualified to get this job. That's one of the things I talked about, and this is no secret. I was one of the first people to say, no matter who was before, after, whatever, I knew this person was qualified. Talk about being a Black woman going through some of the things, having to wear all these different, but also because you had so many different experiences. You know, like you said, you were at Florida Sports, you were at FAMU, you had worked at some other places. How did it all come together? Where now you're able to now have as they say, a 360 view because of your experience and qualifications and being a woman and some of those challenges.
Right. And I would get that question often at the Florida Sports Foundation. I was first person of color as well as the first female to serve in that seat. And so, of course, you got Black History Month and you follow it up with Women's History Month. I was sitting on panels for 2 months, kind of answering this same question. But with it, as I've grown, right, the majority of my career has been in the male dominated, some people say, but in seats where there are men. In external affairs at colleges, period, in sports, typically the external person is a man. So not just, and so typically that's where the men are. Same thing in working in club level sales there, and then going into sports tourism, the male dominated in terms of senior leadership in that way. And then coming here into this role, which of course the number is growing, but we have a ways to catch up. And so it's truly an honor. I definitely look at it where I am in a position where young ladies can be what they can see. So I do carry that. If they see me do it, then they know they can do it. This is where and I'm pausing so I don't mess up as much as sometimes I will in getting this question. But I have a daughter. My husband and I have a daughter that has decided that she wants to go into the industry as well as a sports and entertainment attorney. Focusing on contracts and looking at things of that nature. And so as I move, and I didn't know she was watching me the way that she was. She was 3 years old when I started working at FAM the first time. And then she grew up on the campus in the program and is just kind of following along because that's what we do. Our families are a part of what we do. And then going to the Sports Foundation and just being so honored to be able to, have her see some of those opportunities and those programs and those successes that we were able to have there, as she then goes on and is now a sport management major in college and plans to go to law school after that. She says she watched me do it, right? And her friends and other young ladies that are able to come and ask me questions. The women and the young ladies on campus are able to come and let's just talk about it. And whatever it is that I can share with however it is that I can help, I'm just honored to do so.
That is awesome. I just want to, and we've had you on for an hour. We're going to let you go because, like I said, I know you got to get up and keep working, but I just want to say something. And a lot of Rattlers are watching, and I'm going to say this personally. I've known Angela since we was kids. We were literally kids. And I think the most important thing, what I appreciate, is that you are bringing a level of professionalism and honesty to the position. But that also means I'm going to challenge all of us to support what you're doing. So I'm going to do the same thing. Prairie, I told Coach got the 3,500. You've been on the job, roughly 6 months? I think I saw Scott said 6 months or so, 5 months. What's the official? What's the 5 months? So something like that.
We do how we do November, December, January, February. A little over 4 months.
4 months. So listen, she said we had 3,500. Hey, we need to get 5,000 season tickets. Yeah. We've got a beautiful package, and I don't want to hear nothing. And I'm saying this as a Rattler. Y'all make triple the money that I make. And I know I can afford 2 season ticket package. So I don't want to hear nothing about talking about you ain't got no money. Because Angela, we all know them jokers got money. They living good. They doing good because they went to Florida A&M. So we know they doing good. So the way to get this, because again, we ain't got no celebrity coach. Like Coach said, they're gonna be taking no pictures with the governor, but she does know the governor. She's met people and things like that in her position. But the point of it is she's working to build from within. So I want everybody, I want to see all these Rattlers, 6,000 season tickets. Let's get it. And then let's support our AD, and then let's win some championships.
Absolutely. And so definitely more information will be coming out. We're wrapping up our tailgating as we talked about it, and it's really big. Yeah, it's big everywhere. And so I think we're also the RV communities are growing as well. And so we're wrapping up and about to get our tailgating information out that's beyond the parking. But season tickets for renewals, any Rattlers that are watching, your information is in your account. If you want new information, you can just visit FAMUathletics.com, or you can call the Rattler box office at 850-599-3141. And so we are super excited.
So we'll definitely, we'll put that up on our show every Tuesday. It'll be up where somebody can get that done. And I want you to send Coach Cozy our regards. I mean, he's been a professional. Every time we call him, he's there to give us his time. So make sure you send him our regards.
I surely will.
Oh, and we need a basketball coach on here. So tell Coach Prairie we got to get him on here. So let me know how we can work that out. So we got to get him on here.
This is not a Florida A&M. No, I'm just
hey, man, listen,
we need all Rattlers. All roads are leading to Atlanta. We're going to stop for Daytona. But next week,
I'm going to be at Texas Southern. He don't won about 5 SWAC championships. So
bring him on, Coach. This is the HBCU Coaches Corner, ain't it? We should be talking everything, every sport, Coach. Come on, you played every sport. So come on.
Coach Suggs, I look
you.
forward to meeting
I appreciate it.
I am definitely going to come down and visit. And
please
come in and show me around. I had the opportunity to coach there in the hole, and that's when Coach Humphrey, the President Humphrey, was there.
Yeah,
he actually got out in the middle of the 50 and done the strike. That blew me away, man. That blew me away. The president was involved. So
that's right. We love to have you come on down. Rocky, you come on over as well.
Absolutely.
But take good care of you all.
Hey, last time I was there, I had a great time at FAMU. I was with a dignitary, Mr. Campbell.
That's right.
And somehow I ended up in y'all club level section on the end zone over there, man. And even though I didn't have an armband, somebody lent me theirs, and I had a great time while I don't know even if that was legal, but
it wasn't. We're gonna need to make sure that you are appropriately credentialed the next time.
But they took good care of me. It was raining like crazy that night of the SWAC championship, so it was great. But I had a great time. So I'm not local there, but one thing that used to happen before Baylor built this new stadium, they used to have a pool of community tickets that people would buy into. And that's how I used to go to the game as a kid, because I always knew that the boys club had tickets, the YMCA had tickets, and all that kind of stuff. Do y'all have a community fund or something like that a person can donate to give tickets?
We don't call it a pool, but yes, we definitely believe in that initiative, because I'll tell you this. When we go talk to corporate sponsors, they didn't ask me how many tickets we sold. That's just one revenue line. They want to know how many people were in the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to make sure that while we're also selling tickets, that the community has a chance to come onto our campus. And we spoke about that before. Many people will have their first experience with Florida A&M through a sporting event. And we've just got to make sure that it's one that makes them want to come back.
So y'all get concession and parking as well to your athletic department?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That's why she had to change that package to make sure those.
Hey, they got Hennessy. Hey, they got Hennessy in their concession stand department, in that other department down there. So I know, hey, that's where I need it. Hey, now how much, let me ask you that, because that's important to me, because that was a great experience. You don't get to see much of the game, but the time is had in that end zone.
Time is had by all.
what's the credentials to get in that area in case anybody's out there that wants to be a part of that?
Sure. And so this year we're moving toward, again, as we suspend investing in champions where you were getting passes there, you now just purchase it. So it's $1,000 per person for the season for 5 games. So that would be $200 a person to go down there. But it
hey, Rocky, share that screen that I just put up because
I will do. Okay.
And but to
so
kind
Angela,
of
Lynn, can I make that bigger?
Can you zoom it?
Yeah, let's see. Is that making it bigger? Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
It is. Absolutely, it is.
Yeah. So Angela, why don't you since we open this up,
right.
why don't you just talk through this exactly what Rocky's talking about and things like that really quick since we open this up.
So again, with the North End Zone Club, what that is, again, that's $1,000 that we have there, and that equates to $200 a game. The individual prices for that will be $250 a game and $500 for homecoming. And so
you can get homecoming out the way.
Right. And so that, that's what we have there. But again, it's a premium area. You have the catered buffet that's available the entire game. You have beverages that are there, just spirit center that is down there through the third quarter, desserts that come through. And it just really is a great time. And again, but there's also an investment there, right? And so we will be able to start to pour into our excellence fund, which we'll hear more about that through that particular investment opportunity, that particular purchase opportunity. And then our season tickets, again, they start at $175. We have some that are $250, and then our most coveted seats at the 50-yard line on the side underneath the press box are $350 there. And then we have our parking where people can tailgate in there. But then also for basketball, we have an add-on that'll give you a discount there. You can get a $150 basketball season ticket package if you do your add-on with your football ticket. And then we introduced this year the Courtside Club, which has been a hit, where we pushed in one side of the Lawson Center, put some round tables and chairs down there, and an experience similar, Rocky, to what you see in the North End Zone Club. We have it in basketball as well.
Oh man. You say you close it, shut it off at the third quarter. Of course, that was a game where we needed to get out of there, pretty early. But I'm glad it stayed open to the third quarter because it was definitely open in halftime when we got there, and we had a good time. So in the basketball game, when you cut it off at the basketball game?
So of course, with the new format, when we have double headers, we cut it off at 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
For the second game.
With 10 minutes left in the second half of the men's game, but you would have been there for the women's game and the men's game, and we take a break in between the two games, so it's just not continuous.
Okay.
And for people that are listening, we're not talking about the food. You can get the food all night.
No.
The orange punch and the green punch and the lemonade.
So going to Baylor games my whole life, to have alcohol at a college game was really a unique experience, to say the least. And I personally found it to be very enjoyable. The people there were very respectful. It was nothing belligerent going on there. It was a really super classy experience. It was more like a VIP section than anything else. So if for you FAMU fans that want to have that VIP experience, that club was at North End Zone Club Pass is well worth $1,000 if you get a chance.
Yeah, when I worked at the PWIs, they that was known that they was gonna have some good drinks there because a lot of people write checks when they had them good drinks.
That's right. No, but seriously, we really, sports and entertainment are married now. And we really want to provide an experience for everyone, even people who don't believe that they are sports fans. We want them to be able to come in and have a good time as well and continue to come back. And so, we will continue to look at other ways to be able to provide experiences also.
Oh, and just as a side note, Angela, you were the one that created that North End Zone experience. Am I correct on that? Or 100% correct on it?
Yes. And so there was a President's Club that was invite only, that was kind of, but it just was it was on one side of the end zone. And so that was there before we introduced the North End Zone Club experience. And it has definitely grown. And so we're taking a look at how we can keep it premium, keep it something that, we're going to take a look at the capacity, and we are going to figure out what sold out means so that the experience can remain VIP, can remain a premium experience that's comfortable and not one that is as crowded.
There you go. That's my AD, y'all. That's my AD.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
But it worth 4 months in, I give you that.
See, Rocky breaking up. See, and yeah, this is time for you to leave. Cause see, he probably maybe might say something that's dangerous.
I know. I said 4 months in, I'm giving her an A.
Oh, okay. He said he's giving you an A. See, he's breaking up. See, Angela, usually this is the part of the show where it totally goes off the rails. So that's what God. So that's what.
No, it's not going to happen this time.
Yeah, okay, good.
It's not going to happen.
Rocky, what did you say? Well, hold on. I think you said you were giving her an A. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I was giving her 4 months in. I'm giving her an A. I think she's doing an exceptional job, and just being able to hold the fan base together during this time was tremendous, and that was well worth whatever they paid you to come on board.
There it is.
Thank you so much. But so I'll let y'all get to what is it, Coaches Corner after dark.
Yeah. Let's get out of here. We got a hell scoring, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, so they love us, boy. They don't never turn it off. We can have calls all night.
Hey, yeah. Well, we getting off tonight though. I know that.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for the invitation and for this opportunity. I truly appreciate you all, and I'll keep watching.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, 19.
Hey, Coach. I know we got plenty of calls. People want to call in. We're gonna have to get the calls next week because it's time for you to tie a knot, Coach.
Hey man, look, you got look, we supposed to be clued in to one of them channels about politics tonight. I don't know what side you're on, but we kind of held our own here, but it's been great, man. And man, you guys, man, I can't say enough, boy. Y'all had them, y'all ready tonight. We don't raise some money. We don't put up season tickets. Man, y'all did it tonight, Coach. Hey, this is what it's all about. And man, we got to sit and talk about what. Shoot, I like the Houston game of Prairie View. Bishop, fly on in.
Yeah. Hey, I'd love to see the scrimmage in Houston.
Yeah.
And since it's on the weekend, it doesn't conflict with anything that we have going on during the weekend. So, I can go down there and see my baby
during the game. You know what I'm saying? I call, make some calls, but man, we just need to talk about that and bring it live to the show. That's what it's about. All right, till then, man. If you feel yourself at the end of the rope, baby, tie a knot and hold on tight because ain't nobody bad like you.